Hey, welcome back. It's Back to the Basics. I'm Sean Barr, and at Looking Point, we help IT organizations make decisions around collaboration, security, and networking. Today, we're talking about what I would do if we were deploying a Greenfield network deployment. Let's go! Alright, we're back, and we're doing something a little different today. We're going to be talking about what I would do if I was deploying a Greenfield network. And that's if you're basically starting a new company, or maybe you're coming into an environment where they're saying, hey, we're scrapping everything because we've got a new direction. We want to build this thing from the ground up. These are the things that I would do if I was building that infrastructure. So the first thing I would be thinking about is connectivity. How many sites do I have? How many sites will I have in the future? I'd also be thinking about things like how much bandwidth do I need between each of these sites? Am I running voice? Am I running video? Am I transferring large files or a bunch of data? Or are these just basically, in stations with very little data, basically point of sale type data transactions? Those may not require a lot of bandwidth. However, they would require uptime or thinking about availability. So do I need 2 connections at this location, or do I just need 1? Do I need maybe more than 2? Maybe I need 3. Or do I need private lines, or can I leverage public infrastructure? So those are the things that I would be thinking about from a connectivity standpoint. Once I figured out what my uptime requirements were, all of my locations, how many locations I had, I'd be looking at what technologies I'm going to leverage to deploy all of these sites. And so I'd be considering things like traditional just VPN, dynamic multi-point VPN. I would be looking at things like SD-WAN perhaps. But each of those connections or each of those connectivity types would be dictated by how many circuits I have at each of the locations. So as an example, if I only had 1 connection at every single site, I would be leaning more towards a VPN type solution rather than an SD-WAN solution. While SD-WAN is great, you get all this controls and all these connectivity options, the cost difference between that and maybe a traditional VPN may not be worth making the investment in SD-WAN, so maybe I would do just a traditional VPN. However, if uptime was critical, and I knew I was going to have multiple internet connections at every single site, or multiple connections just period, 1 MPLS and 2 internet, pick it. If I had multiple connections there, I would be leaning towards an SD-WAN solution because it's easier to manage. You get all of those nerd knobs of controlling what type of traffic goes where, how much of it, what my latency requirements are, plus you get all that enhanced visibility, which is amazing, rather than doing just a traditional routed network. Plus you get to utilize all of those paths at once with SD-WAN. So we have VPN, we have SD-WAN, we have MPLS. Those are all the options I would be thinking about. Typically today, I would be leveraging internet-type connectivity with VPN because it's so good that unless you had some real specific need around MPLS, I would probably, from a cost perspective, be leaning to more of an over-the-top type solution. So that's it from a connectivity standpoint. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is really how are we going to secure this network? What are the things that we need to think about as we're securing the infrastructure? And then after that, we're going to go to compute. So that's it. If you had any questions, or if I said anything in this video that you're like, hey, I'd love to know more about that, leave a comment. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button, and give us a thumbs up if you liked it. Give us a thumbs down if you hated it. Leave us a comment, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.